Hello friends, and welcome to Ariel's Twilight Years, how to be a really old model. I'm standing in the corner of my bedroom this month. I've just got back from a week in Fuerteventura shooting content and I'm just about to go away again. But I've wanted to make this video for a while, and it's just about the weirdness of living in a house where you shoot porn. So I'm going to take you on a little tour around our house and I'm going to show you some of the stranger things we've got in our house and why they're there. So I'm starting in this corner because this is where the first porn crown I won resides. This was for Submissive of the Year in 2021 from ManyVids, and the first crown they sent me through the post from Canada was broken, and I was really sad because I was very excited about getting a crown. They sent me a replacement. I can't really wear it, it's not the right shape for my head and my head is massive, but Hywel very kindly put up a shelf for me. I cannot do stuff to do with making things level in DIY. I don't understand it. So if anything ever has to be level, Hywel has to do it, and it makes me feel really bad because I watched him and it didn't teach me how to do it myself. Then underneath this is what's becoming my mawkish poetry wall. I do like poetry. I don't read a great deal of it, and as a result, the only poems I really know are ones that are quite well known generally. And this is an example of two hideously well-known poems, so I shouldn't even like them because it's not cool to like stuff that's this GCSE syllabus popular, but I do. The first one is by Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. And I actually first met this poem, I just saw one verse of it and it just struck me as just amazing, like so powerful. But I didn't know who Maya Angelou was, and I didn't know it's about the experience of being an African American with a history of slavery. So when I read the full poem eventually, I realised this is not a poem for you, Ariel Anderson. It is not. But by then it was too late. I was hooked. I love it. And so I got a copy of it last year, just because I know that when you've got stuff on the wall, it's very easy just to ignore it, like walk past it and not really pay attention to it. And I do that with pictures, but with words, I don't do that. So I probably read a couple of lines from this every day. And I find it, although I am not the target audience, I do find it really powerful. Just the idea of carrying on rising, whatever happens to you, however mendacious people around you might be, still overcoming is just, I think, is a really powerful sentiment. And then I just got this. This I bought with the money from an article I had published just recently, which is a really grim article. I will link it in the show notes because it's about the sort of legacy of experiencing bullying at school. Not only being bullied yourself, but watching other people being bullied. And so it felt really appropriate that I should buy something to do with words because I had earned the money to buy it with words. So this is Rudyard Kipling's If, which is incredibly, everyone knows it, I think. It's incredibly ubiquitous. Totally GCSE syllabus, probably up in schools all over the world. But it's similar to Maya Angelou's poem in that really it's about overcoming things and aiming high and never stopping trying to improve yourself. And I really like it because I'm very emotional. I'm not a stoic kind of person. You know, if I get hurt, I cry. If I'm upset, I cry. If people disagree with me online, I'm cross. Like, I am not stoic in terms of what I express to the world, but I do try to be stoic in terms of hello.
Hello.
Dealing with adversity and not letting it stop me. So these two poems really represent my intention to continue doing that. What do you think of the poem wall?
They're quite grandiose, which is very good.
They are. Still I rise, then you will be a man. Yes, they're not subtle, are they?
No.
So, and I was just explaining how I don't know how to do shelves, so you had to do the
Bang,
shelf.
bang, bang.
Yeah. Like if I had
At least
to
this
do
one
that,
didn't go up with a shoe.
it wouldn't. Well, it didn't because I didn't do it. That's why.
No.
Because I don't know how to do things, make things level. I just think I'll figure it out. It'll be level, and then it isn't. So that is the corner of this room explained, and now I'm going to go on and explain more.
There are many more strange things even in this room, my love.
There are.
Yes.
What do you? Oh yes.
There's Suffragettes, grandiose.
Very fucking grandiose.
There's Anne of Green Gables.
Love her.
There's the Cuddlies.
cuddlies, they're not strange. They're friends. What's wrong with you? Okay, so this corner of the room is no less odd. I bought this with the money from my Huffington Post piece about getting out of the Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's from Punch, which was like a Victorian private eye of its time, I suppose. So this is a cartoon of a suffragette, and I'm assuming it's critical, but it's so clever and sophisticated. I've never really understood what their point is. Like, she's got words on her skis, agitation, it says. So I'm thinking we're meant to look at this and be like, oh, what an awful, monstrous regiment of woman she is. But I don't. I just think, look at her skiing along with her Votes for Women. Lovely. That is a really nice reminder. Then, here is my dildo drawer. My drawer of cocks, which I didn't used to have until COVID because I didn't used to use dildos for my job. And then I started using dildos at work, and people were very, very keen to send them to me. So before I knew it, I had more cocks than I knew what to do with, and it's the biggest drawer in the house.
Yes,
is full of cocks.
It is, absolutely.
But the other thing, I think the most compelling and interesting thing about the drawer of cocks is it's also where I keep the most fucking offensive letters I get. Now, I don't get a whole load of offensive letters, so there's only one in here, but it is so fucking offensive that when it came, I photographed it for my lawyer, so I've got it on my phone. I didn't read it because I read the first bit and was like, okay, I'm not reading this. Hywel read it and was like, yeah, don't read that. And I thought I'd probably have to keep it just in case I ever need it for legal reasons, and it became suddenly clear to me that the only place in the house that was appropriate for keeping such nonsense would be the drawer of cocks. And so now, this horrible letter, which I will not read, which should be quite an upsetting thing, really I find delightful, because every time I open my cock drawer, I'm like, ha 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 ha, you're still in there, stuck in there. It feels like voodoo. Like, it feels like the person who wrote it is in the drawer with my cocks, which I enjoy very much. Right. Well, Gareth's here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, friendly eye.
Gareth's not one of the strange things in the house. He's one of the friends in the house.
You am I?
Yeah. Ooh, but now we're facing in this direction. People often say, like if I'm on podcasts and say that, oh, they love the pictures above the bed. Oh, they're very classy. And they are very classy.
Phallic.
But I bought them.
More cocks. It's a row of cocks.
Because I think obelisks basically, I think that's why people wanted them. Like, it's a show of strength and power and virility, probably. So I've always wanted my 4 cocks over the bed that don't look pornographic to a casual observer, but in fact are entirely pornographic. All right, so that's this room.
No, it's not. There's that corner there.
Here's Sheepy, my sheep stool. I don't really know why I bought him, just because we live in Wales, I think, and I thought we should have a sheep. And we saw him at a big craft fair.
Yes.
And I just couldn't leave him. And he has a tiara. And he has cat ears. I don't really know why he has the cat ears as well, but he does. He wants them. So he's full of character, despite not having a face. It's pretty impressive. Here's my Anne of Green Gables fan wall, just because I love her. And we went to a place where the author wrote Anne of Green Gables last year, and I bought all the front covers. And some of them are very fun names. There's something of Pat of Silver Bush. So again, it doesn't look immediately pornographic, but there is something of the porn.
And what about your World War II propaganda poster?
This is a reference to the fact that my conversational style is to make people tell me very personal things. So I'm aware, in the Second World War, if I'd been a baddie, I would have been a very good person to do this job. Oh, please do tell me all about your war work. It sounds very exciting. Where do you do it exactly? And so this is basically a poster of me, and it's a warning for anyone who comes into this room that they'll be dealing with basically this woman. No, they always do tell me things, despite the warning. Our front door. It's too low for me to walk through without banging my head. Fortunately, it's so much too low that I don't actually bang my head because I always know I need to duck. It's actually much worse for people who are kind of this height, where it's sort of marginal. And here is my current wreath. I like to change the wreath with the seasons, but I've never had a Valentine's one before. This one just arrived. It didn't look quite so garish on the website as it does in real life, and I'm a bit ashamed of it, but also kind of strangely proud because Hywel is utterly appalled by it. And I don't know, I live for the pleasure of appalling my husband. Now this room is probably familiar to you if you watch my porn because we shoot a lot in here. Oh, none of the lights work. Because we shoot a lot of porn in here. But the mantelpiece is my favourite. So it's got a spur that my friend the Famous gave me. I feel like it has BDSM possibilities, but I'm not quite sure what. But I like having it here. I've got a boat that I bought at an antique store. We've got a map of North Wales. We've got this that my fake nephew bought me. Oh no, I need to charge it up. It sings 99 Problems, which is amazing. And there's always a cane on the fireplace, just because I've always thought a cane is a really good thing to have on a mantelpiece, and I didn't used to have a mantelpiece, so now I've got one. I want there to be a cane permanently on here. It just feels right. Here is the most recent of my collection of swords. I've been collecting swords for a few years, but I bought this one specifically to celebrate the publication of my memoir, Playing to Lose. So mostly I buy genuine antiques, but I can't afford to buy a genuine 16th century rapier because they're hellishly expensive, and so I bought a reproduction. But I absolutely love it because I trained to fight with these things, to choreograph with these things, but I never actually got to hold a real one, and I realised I'm not really strong enough. Like I'm strong enough to fight with the fake ones, but with the real ones, Jesus, it would have to be over fast or I'd get very out of breath. And I love it, I love having it, I love having it. I love it that it's one of the first things people see when they come into the house. And I got this sword holding bracket from a craft maker in Utah. The sword came from Italy. There. Very ashamed of this room. It's the sitting room. There's German fencing épées on the wall, which I'm very proud of. I bought these with the money I got from an article for Quillette magazine, and I now think Quillette as a publication is, I mean, politically I disagree with almost everything they write, but it was the first time I got paid to write something and I was really excited. And because it is a publication that that publishes a lot of stuff I really don't agree with, its readership very much didn't agree with me, so I got a lot of hate as a result of being in that publication, and so buying swords felt like a very appropriate. I thought, I don't know, it felt like I'd gone into a battle. I hadn't realised that's what I was doing. I thought I was just writing an article about OnlyFans, but it became very combative. This is why I'm ashamed of our sitting room. Because we used to occasionally put up this big screen for special events, like if we were going to watch a film we were really excited about, and then we put it away again and put it in the corner and we'd have a normal sitting room. And then during COVID we watched a lot of movies, and so we sort of left it up for a few weeks and then a few months, and now 4 years later we just have it up permanently, which means you can't see the fireplace anymore. Like, the room does not look smart anymore, but we can watch giant TV, which is really nice. Come in. But it gives me such...
These two yet?
Oh no, we haven't done these two yet. So it gives me such shame when people come in. I always feel like I have to explain.
I always thought it's perfectly obvious if we're watching telly.
Well, yeah, but it feels like it's taking up half the room, so we don't have a pretty sitting room anymore, and I feel shame. We also used to have beautiful sofas, and now we have comfy sofas, and I'm quite ashamed of them as well, because they're quite ugly. They're just really comfortable. But here are some things that spark joy. Robo-Duck. I don't know where we got him from, but it was a long time ago.
It was at Christmas. We walked up to the castle with the role-playing group at House Christmas, and he was in the little shed outside the castle.
Oh, yeah. So he comes from Powys Castle, and we love him. He doesn't talk. He's very quiet, and he just likes to
guard the
place. But we did feel a bit bad that he's alone. And then, over Christmas this year, we walked past a shop, and we saw Wingman Goose, who's very, very bright. He's a very much more flamboyant character than Robo-Duck. And so now he lives on the fireplace with Robo-Duck, and that's really lovely. Oh, and this is one more thing that's really lovely, is that a friend of ours came to stay, Busby Wilder, shout out to you, and he went out for a walk, He's American. He went out for a walk because we were working, and he came back and he saw us through the window, and we were sitting on our sofa and talking to each other, and he took a picture. And it's really nice because we were just unaware, and what we do when people aren't watching us is often like we sit and talk like really close to each other, and I really love it. So it's a really nice reminder of who we are when we're not trying to entertain anyone. We're in the kitchen, and there's not a whole load of weird pornographic stuff in the kitchen because I don't allow ball gags to be washed in the kitchen sink. It all feels wrong. They have to be washed in the utility room sink. I'm very firm about that. I do not want cooking utensils and gags mixed up. It just feels incorrect. But this shelf is lovely. This is one of my favourite things in the house because when we got married in 2012, we'd been living together for 3 or 4 years already. So we didn't need a lot of the things that you need when you set up a home together. So we asked everyone to buy us cookery books that they liked. So most of these books represent a friend who came to our wedding, and we have added some since. But it's really lovely that if you pull one of these down, a lot of them will have the names of someone we love in them, which is beautiful. And here is my tiny little frying pan for if I want to make 1 serving of cookie dough dessert.
No, tweed whore is not actually tweed whore anymore, it says tweed tin foil.
Yeah, I write ideas on this blackboard. So sometimes it's just stuff we have to buy, like tin foil, but before that it said tweed whore because it was an idea I had for a video. And down here is a very old picture I drew of Hywel, who's the hedgehog with the camera, and me, I'm the otter being the model. I drew them. We had a house full of people, probably in around like 2015, and we were just very tired. So these are the quiet woodland creatures who just want to get on with filming without having people visiting. So that is the kitchen. Now I'm going to show you the genuinely weirdest thing in the whole house. Like this is properly weird, and it's not our fault, but it's one of the reasons we bought the house. And if you watch Hywel's work, you will have seen it already. But if you watch mine, you won't, because I never shoot in here because it's awfully risky in terms of spiders. I've not been in here for weeks. God. Oh God. Ooh. Ooh. Here's a staircase that goes up. It's a secret staircase that goes up into our bedroom suite. So we could escape the house when we had guests if we wanted. If we were brave enough to risk the spiders. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I hate it in here. Oh fuck. But here is the sort of network of little corridors that lead into our dungeon. So the house was originally an industrial building back in the 1800s, and it was, I think this was a whiskey maltings. And so other than this, which we added, we've not added anything. This is just on the ground floor near the sitting room. And it's just here waiting to be used as a photographic location all the time. It's amazing. It even has windows that you can shine lights through. So it's, if it had been built for fetish photography, it could hardly be any better. I guess it would just be bigger, that's the only thing. But it's not comfortable, especially if you're frightened of spiders. It continues round, but I'm too scared to go round. It goes round here as well. But this is the room where I've genuinely allowed myself to jump the shark. This is the downstairs loo, which weirdly has the highest ceiling in the whole house. Amazing. Useless, but amazing. And I decided to keep a lot of the weirder stuff about my job in here. So I've got my Crown of the Year that I won from many vids for being MILF of the Year in 2022. I've got the headline that I got in The Sun last year. Because it's just so funny and so inappropriate that I want it there so everyone can see it. And I've got the memorial to my first book coming out. So I asked people to send me pictures of themselves with my book, and then I printed it out into a collage, and I just love it. It's got a lot of people I know, pictures from people I know, but it's also got pictures from people who just supported the book and I don't know. And I asked them to photograph the book in a way that told me something about them. So there's sort of clues to the identity of the people, which is really cool. Love that. And then up at the top is a collage of the process of buying this house, because I took a lot of selfies in the process because we were really scared. Once we'd seen the house, we wanted it so much because it's so beautiful and absolutely unique. So we made an offer that was accepted, and then we had to wait a long time to get the survey, and we just assumed something would be terribly wrong with it because we couldn't understand why someone else hadn't already bought it. So there was quite a lot of fraught driving to Wales and waiting for calls from various people to tell us whether we could afford to do the work we needed to do on all of that. And I really like having a record of that. So I'm aware that people who win Oscars and Grammys and stuff often keep their awards in the downstairs toilet because it looks self-effacing while it's also making sure that everyone sees it, because anyone who comes to your house is quite likely to visit your downstairs loo. And so I know I've done that. I know it's not self-effacing at all. It's because I want everyone to see my MILF of the Year award, because I'm not altogether a good person, I don't think. And here is one of my favourite things in the house, which you won't have seen. So we shoot in this room a lot. It's our Japanese room, and we keep it quite empty so that it's like a studio space. But no one ever gets to look in here. It's my secret. It's my secret fabric cupboard. I'm so lucky. It's not very neat. I'm so lucky to have this because it means I can store fabric that I have bought or someone has bought me when I don't have an idea of what to make with it yet, which means if I suddenly have a day off and the desire to make something, I will often already have fabric in the house to get started with the project, and I just love it. Unfortunately, this cupboard is also very appealing to spiders, so quite often when I open it, I have to open it at arm's length because there'll just be a spider like right there, which I do not appreciate. So that is some of the strange and fun, sometimes pornographic things in my house. And I'm going to stop there because I realise the video will be a bit long otherwise. But if you enjoy it, I'll make a part 2 because I've still only shown you like half the rooms in the house, and there's some very, very weird stuff elsewhere. So thanks for listening, as always. Please like, subscribe, come back for more. I'll be back with more next month. It's goodbye from me. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. I forgot to tell you. Oh, this is important. This is the tea and coffee cupboard and the cup cupboard. And I have cups that I really love and cups that I don't love as much. And I allocate cups to people who visit based on how much I like them or how much I think I'm going to like them. So if you come to our house and you get this cup or this cup...
You shouldn't let on what your grading scale is, though.
These are all for people I like. I'm not going to say which ones are the ones for people I really don't like. There's one punishment cup for someone who's really just gone completely beyond the pale. It's how I signal to Hywel, like, let's not invite them for dinner. Yes. So that is evidence of my judgmental little soul. What a shame. Most people, I mean the vast majority of people, will get the cups for the people we like. People I like. I don't ask how.
No, I didn't say
cup would you like?
I get no say in any of this judgmental nonsense.
Anyway, thank you as always for watching, and it's goodbye from me. Goodbye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Do 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 do.